At this time, I will call this meeting to order. Clerk of the Board, can you please call the roll?
Certainly, Chairwoman. Commissioner Baker.
Present.
Commissioner Dellisfort.
Present.
Commissioner Granados. Commissioner Kowalski.
Here.
Commissioner Mirabella.
Present.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairman Bodek.
Here.
And Chairwoman Leone.
Here.
Let the record reflect you have 8 commissioners present for this regular meeting.
Clerk of the Board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly, we ask God, the giver of peace and lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
Certainly, the chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2025, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstance, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2025 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2025 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Tonight, we have one ordinance for adoption, and at this time, I would like to ask County Council to make a statement relative to the rules for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Chair. Before we begin any public comments this evening, the Chair has asked that I make a few remarks to remind those attending the rules of this meeting. First, based upon the number of people appearing tonight to address the Board, to ensure everyone who wishes to has an opportunity to speak, the amount of time each public speaker will be allowed during tonight's meeting will be 3 minutes. As always, please note the 1-minute warning sign, and please end your remarks once the red sign indicating your time is over is held up. No additional time is allowed. Second, to maintain decorum during the meeting and to allow all speakers to be heard by the Board, no telephone use is allowed during the meeting, and any in-person conversations should be taken out into the hallway so as not to disturb other members of the public or the Board. Also, please do not call out from the audience or make any comments other than during your own speaking time. During your remarks, please refrain from profanity or vulgar comments and do not make any personal comments or attacks. Anyone violating these rules may have their speaking time ended. Further violation of these rules or any action that disrupts the meeting or interferes with the Board's ability to conduct its business are grounds for removal from the meeting. Once again, to avoid safety issues and assist in the speaking process, we've handed out numbers for those people wishing to speak later during the general comment period. The numbers will be called in groups of 5. Please line up behind the microphone and wait until your number is called before you stand up so that there is no blocking the aisles or interfering with other people's ability to see. The current public hearing is for the ordinance only, so please do not make comments concerning any other issue on the agenda. As I noted, that time will come shortly during the regular public comment portion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask the Clerk of the Board to please read ordinance number 857-2025 by title.
Ordinance number 857-2025, an ordinance to amend the laws of Union County, Administrative Code and Policies and General Legislations by amending Part 2, Policies and General Legislation, Chapter 49, Fees, Article 5, Engineering and Public Work Fees, and Article 7, New, Office of the Union County Surrogate Fees.
Thank you. The meeting is now open to the public for comment on ordinance 857-2025 only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 3-minute time limit. Please note, the clerk of the board employee will hold up a yellow card indicating the speaker has 1 minute left. Once the red card is up, your time is up. Is there anyone wishing to speak?
Good evening, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. The Commissioner Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Reference this ordinance. Just for the public record, please explain what fees are either being imposed or increased by the Public Works. And also, I see there are new fees being added by the Union County Surrogate's Office. And I'm just wondering, I know the Surrogate's Office went over their legal financial budget cap this budget cycle, and I'm just wondering if these fees are now being imposed to at least increase his revenue to maintain the budget cap next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. I can address both of those. As clearly set forth in the text of the ordinance, the initial fees for the Public Works Department are for what are called tipping fees at our leaf composting facility. This is the amount that we charge the municipalities who use that service. Those are being increased slightly. They're still below market to my understanding, but it will help keep that operation running. As to the Office of the County Surrogate, these are really pass-along fees concerning the use of credit cards. As everybody these days knows, there's no more free use of your credit card. The county, in order to offer the ability of the users of the Surrogate's Office to use credit cards, needs to pass that fee along. It cannot be absorbed by the county, and this is doing just that. The fees will have no add-on. The cost to the consumer will be strictly the amount charged to the county by the credit card company with nothing added on. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. At this time, I will call upon Subcommittee Chairman Bodek to move Ordinance 857-2025 for final reading and adoption.
I move ordinance number 857-2025 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law.
I'll second that, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Kowalski. A motion was made by Bodek, Vice Chairman Bodek, and seconded by Commissioner Kowalski. Can you please call the roll, Clerk of the Board?
Commissioner Baker,
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisfort,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella,
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek,
Aye.
and Chairwoman Leon.
Aye.
Let the record reflect you have 8 votes in the affirmative on ordinance number 857-2025.
May I have a motion to approve the communications?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Mirabella, seconded by Commissioner Baker. Clerk of the Board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker,
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisfort,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella,
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek,
Aye.
Chairwoman Leon.
Aye.
Let the record reflect you have 8 votes in the affirmative on all of the communication.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the April minutes?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Kowalski, seconded by Commissioner Dellisfort.
For the roll call, may I call upon Commissioner Baker,
Yeah, aye to the April 17th agenda setting and regular meeting.
Commissioner Dellisfort,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella,
Abstain.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek,
Aye.
and Chairwoman Leon.
Aye to all.
Let the record reflect you have 7 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention on both sets of April minutes.
Thank you. At this time, the meeting is now open to the public for the purpose of commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption or any governmental issue that a member of the public feels they may be of concern. Kindly state your name and town of residence For the record, and is speaking on a resolution on the agenda, please note the resolution number to which you are referring and adhere to the 3-minute time limit. As previously noted, Clerk of the Board employee Emmanuel will hold the yellow card when you have 1 minute left and the red card when your time has concluded. Please approach the podium when your number is called and make a line behind the number. So we are going to start right now with number 1.
1 through 5, please line up. All right, 1 to 5. Yeah.
1 to 5.
Sorry.
Good evening. My name is Arman Aliaskarpour, and I'm an employee of SpinCube Incorporated, headquartered in Clark. We are a small business of Union County, one of many that makes this county great. My director of operations and my chief executive here, Alberto Scalia, were at the bid opening for, this is for questions related to item 469, 2025469 for RCCP 1-2025. They were present at the bid opening here on April 23rd, and they were permitted to review all proposals that were submitted, as well as their own. Upon review, they found that CGI's proposal stated that Union County would enter into 2 separate contracts, one with CGI and one with another vendor to fulfill the bid's requirements. Currently on the agenda, CGI is the only vendor listed to be awarded the bid, and if that's the case, we fear the proposal may have been changed based on the proposal may have been changed based on the parties that were listed on the proposal and the fact that there's only one party listed on the agenda for approval today. This may be a violation of NJSA 40A 11-4.5 for contracting solicitations, because under no circumstances shall the provisions of a proposal be subject to negotiation by the contracting unit. So we just have some questions as to whether this proposal was changed after submission, being that it listed 2 vendors, none of which were subcontractors on the bid. Today there's only 1 on the agenda, and but even if there were 2 listed, the contracts aren't supposed to be divided under NJSA 40A colon 11-7. No contract in the aggregate can be split amongst 2 bidders according to that statute, we believe. And so we just wanted to raise those questions to the board and the county, and raise any awareness of any potential defects should there be some on that proposal. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board and various Golden Nuggets. Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Just to point out, Commissioner Marabellis, on 4/17, I believe he was absent that meeting. It sounded like he was saying that he was here when you took roll call.
I abstained.
He said abstain.
Reso 412 is adding $335,000 to the original area contract spending plan. $335,000 increase is huge. Is this going to be taxpayer money being paid out? And it really doesn't say what the original area plan is about for the expenditure. Reso 417 is giving GPC Company over $900,000 for the Froelich Building fire suppression remediation. This is a huge amount of money the taxpayers are paying. What is this fire suppression remediation about? For the public record, was there a catastrophe at the Froelich Building the public doesn't know about? Reso 419 is buying a new grappler truck for $460,000. This is a huge amount of money being spent for the public record. Is this the result from that fiasco that happened with the older truck in Mountainside? And is this an emergency appropriation, or did it go out to competitive bid? Reso 426 is spending $288,000 for improvements to the driving range of Galloping Hill. The driving ranges are just flat, grassy areas with a big fence around it, so I don't see anything exotic about it. So what happened to the driving range that the taxpayers must spend $288,000? Reso 432 is paying Coronis Health $100,000 for our EMS billing and collection services for 12 months. And hopefully we're collecting a lot more in billings that we can afford to get out $100,000 at Coronis. And how much did we actually collect last year? Reso 434, amending the account number to Wireless Edge Towers contract and antennas, shelters, generators for public record. Are these people the ones that had to reinstall a communications antenna when it fell over at the Froelich building during the storm? 472 is awarding $6 million for the capital projects municipal grants. I'm just wondering, can you elucidate what all these dollars amount are to the municipals? And I see there's a new Reso 474 added, which was the executive session topic, Andrea Simmons versus Union County. Could you please give us an overview of what that lawsuit was about? And I noticed $45,000 is being awarded, so thank you very much.
Nancy Twaskis, Clark, New Jersey. Resolution 429. I was just wondering why the Taylor Law Group would need to have a contract in order to change an account number. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but it's just an interesting thing. I just went through all of the resolutions. I'm not as detailed with pointing any one of them out, but I kind of added up about $13 million going around and around, or grants coming in, money going out. Just wondering when it's going to come to a time when government is not spending so much taxpayer money. Just seems like a lot of money. I don't know how much comes in, but a lot going out. And I do want to give you an update. I did play golf over at Ashbrook Golf Course, and the creeks there really don't move at all. They just sit there, and I imagine after the rain we had yesterday, the course is probably just totally flooded. I mean, they had to close it. It was raining. You weren't going to play golf anyway, but those creeks just sit there, and if you look downstream, there's just a bunch of stuff all filled up. I think pretty soon that golf course is just going to become a swamp again at this point. It's really just not getting any better. And just wanted to kind of update you. I don't know if anybody else has been there to play golf lately, but it really hasn't gotten any better since I was here last year, kind of letting you know the conditions. Thank you.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Elvira. Soy miembro del... Ya, gracias. Sí. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Elvira. Soy miembro de la... que se hace... Soy miembro de la señora... ya. Soy miembro de la señora que se hace camino a Nueva Jersey y vivo en Elizabeth. Con mi familia estoy aquí frente a ustedes y para darles un mensaje, ¿no? A las personas que tomen la difícil decisión de dejar a su país, y lo hacen porque en su país no tenemos esa oportunidad, no tenemos de esa oportunidad de salir nosotros adelante. Lo que está sucediendo ahora es que nosotros nos afecta a todos los inmigrantes. No significa que uno de nosotros no tengamos derecho. Todos los seres humanos tenemos derecho a ser libres y a buscar un mundo mejor. Nosotros trabajamos, también estudiamos y contribuimos también a esta economía. En este país fue constituido por inmigrantes y sin embargo hoy en día nuestra comunidad de inmigrantes estamos siendo aterrorizados a diario. Las familias somos separados de hijos que pierden a sus padres, y los estudiantes también tenemos el temor de ir a la escuela. Los trabajadores tenemos también temor de ir a trabajar, a los trabajos. Vivimos también constantemente en temor. La semana pasada el alcalde de Newark, Ras Baraka, fue arrestado por los agentes de inmigración. ¿Por qué? Porque él estaba haciendo su trabajo, ¿no? Él trataba de inspeccionar la operación de una cárcel de inmigración en su propia ciudad. Este ataque no solamente es para todos nosotros. Si permitimos la apertura de otra cárcel en nuestra comunidad, estaremos abriendo el espacio para que estas escenas de abuso, de poder, violencia e intimidación también suceden aquí. Esto sería tan terrible para los residentes de la ciudad y para el condado de la Unión.
I'm going to be translating. Good evening. My name is Elvira. I'm a member of Make the Road New Jersey, and I live in Elizabeth with my family. I'm here before you to give you a message. People who make the difficult decision to leave their country do so because they don't have the opportunities to get ahead in their countries. What's happening now affects us all. Being an immigrant doesn't mean you don't have rights. All humans have the right to be free and to seek a better world. We work, study, and contribute to the economy. This country was built by immigrants, and yet today our immigrant communities are being terrorized daily. Families are separated, children lose their parents, students are afraid to go to school, and workers are afraid. Last week, Newark Mayor Ras Baraka was arrested by an immigration agent because he was simply doing his job by trying to inspect the operation of an unregulated immigration jail in his own city. This attack is an attack on all of us.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Numbers 6 to 10 want to come up.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Karen y vivo en el condado de Union con mi esposo y mi hijo, a quien yo llevo a la escuela todos los días. La propuesta de crear un centro de detención aquí nos preocupa inmensamente porque nos hace sentir inseguros de poder transitar libremente. Muchas familias vienen a este país buscando refugiarse de la violencia, pero ahora mismo seguimos viviendo temor y persecución con las redadas.
Hi, my name is Jennifer and I'm translating. Good evening. My name is Karen and I live in Union County with my husband and my son, who I take to school every day. The proposal to create a detention center here is one of the most concern to us because it makes us feel unsafe to move freely around. Many families come to this country to seek refuge from violence, but right now we continue to experience fear and prosecution with the raids.
Nosotros venimos a este país a buscar nuevas oportunidades, a salir adelante. Trabajamos duro, nos preparamos, algunos hemos estudiado y sacado títulos profesionales y contribuimos con nuestra parte. Pero el gobierno actual no reconoce esto. El gobierno pinta a los inmigrantes de una forma negativa y eso demuestra el racismo y discriminación con las personas de color. Hay muchas otras cosas más importantes que están afectando este país. Sin embargo, ellos se enfocan en aterrorizarse, sacarnos y divulgar cosas malas de los inmigrantes.
We come to this country to seek new opportunities, to get ahead. We work hard, we prepare ourselves. Some of us have studied and earned professional degrees. We contribute to our part, but the current governor does not recognize this. The government portrays immigrants in a negative light. This demonstrates racism and discrimination against people of color. There are many important things that are affecting this country, yet they focus on terrorizing, driving us out, and spreading bad things about immigrants.
Yo pido a los representantes del condado de Union que escuchen a sus residentes y no a las megacorporaciones. No queremos más cárceles en nuestra comunidad. Esto solamente causará más daño a nuestras comunidades. Gracias.
I ask the representatives of Union County to listen to the residents and to not the mega corporations. We do not want more jails in our community, and this will only cause more harm to our communities. Thank you.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Teresa. Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Teresa. Soy miembro de Se Hace Camino Nueva Jersey. Vivo en Elizabeth, New Jersey, con mi esposo y mis hijos. Estudian en la escuela pública de Elizabeth. Vinimos a este país buscando un mundo mejor. Nos hemos adaptado a vivir aquí. Nos gusta y somos miembros activos de esta comunidad.
Good evening. My name is Teresa, and I'm a member of Make the Road New Jersey. I live in Elizabeth, New Jersey, with my husband and my children. My children go to school, to public school here in Elizabeth. We came to this country seeking a better world. We have adapted to living here. We love it here, and we are active members of this community.
La razón por la que estoy aquí es para pedir a los comisionados del condado de Union que se comprometan públicamente a decir no a la construcción de una cárcel. Aquí hemos visto claramente lo que pasa cuando se abren las puertas de ICE en nuestras comunidades. El viernes pasado hubo caos afuera del centro de detención de inmigración de Delaney Hall en Newark. Los oficiales de ICE usaron fuerza o intimidación para asustar a los participantes. Incluso detuvieron al alcalde de Newark, el señor Ras Baraka.
The reason why I'm here today is to ask the commissioners for Union County to publicly commit to say no to creating a new jail here. We have seen clearly what happens when they open the door to ICE in our communities. Last Friday, there was chaos outside the detention center of Delaney Hall in Newark. The ICE officials, they used force and intimidation to scare off the protesters, including detaining the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka.
Caos y temor es el resultado de traer a ICE a nuestras comunidades. Como miembro de esta comunidad, la idea de tener otra cárcel de inmigración en mi ciudad me causa tremenda preocupación por las recursiones negativas que esto causará para cientos de miles de residentes inmigrantes en el condado de Union. Thank you.
Chaos and fear is a result of bringing ICE into our communities. Like, as a member of the community, the idea of having another ICE detention center in my city is extremely concerning for the negative repercussions that this will cause for hundreds of thousands of immigrants in Union County. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Villavicencio from Elizabeth. So I stand here again to speak out against these for-profit prisons that they call private prisons that seek to infiltrate and destroy our communities. These corporations like Geo Group are being handed contracts, and it's clear the administration thinks it's above the law. They operate with impunity, disregarding permits, refusing access to inspectors, and treating our people as disposable. So as we see what happened last Friday with the great community leader, Mayor Ras Baraka, if he can be arrested unjustly in front of the whole world to see, imagine what they do to the people in our community. These for-profit prisons have millions to spend on upgrades while the Trump administration wages war on our people. The threat of mass deportation has Geo Group and Core Civic foaming out their mouths not to serve the community, but to profit off our suffering. This is not about safety, this is about fear. This is about a system that labels brown people as criminals, rapists, gang members, all while letting the true criminals thrive. The truth is, a few don't care because they don't label Euro-Americans, European immigrants, and their children like they label us Latinos. We are once again the target of their fear-mongering. We are here today not just to talk about a building, but to fight for the kind of future we deserve. Union County has the opportunity to build something better, something transformative. Why not use the space for a transitional shelter for homeless people? Why not create a youth center where we can invest in young people instead of criminalizing them? This is your chance to make a stand, to turn that building into a symbol of change, not more suffering. As representatives of Union County, you have the power to set the example not only for New Jersey, but the entire country, that we can invest in our communities, we can fight for our people, and we can dismantle a system that profits off the pain of the powerless. I stand here today with brothers and sisters from different organizations that refuse to stay silent. We are here to be the voice for those who have been silenced, ignored, or pushed to the shadows. I am the child of a family that came here from El Salvador, They came here in fear, pero con esperanza. Sin papeles, but with a dream. Their struggle gave me the chance to become a teacher in the very community that once feared wouldn't accept us, and that sometimes it feels like they still don't accept us. I carry the sacrifice in my blood, and I refuse to stand by while my people are disrespected, discarded, or denied a future. I speak today not just for my children, but for every Latino family that crosses a border with nothing but faith and fight in their heart. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Carissa Cunningham, and I live in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I'm here in Union County today because I want to talk about the possibility of a Union County jail being turned into another detention facility. Just a few days ago, I found out from someone I work with in the homeless community that 11 people in New Brunswick were taken by ICE right outside of a soup kitchen. They were waiting to be fed. This is what ICE is doing right now. They are coming into our communities and taking my neighbors. They are disappearing people. This is what they talk about in the history books. It's here. This is fascism. The question you have before you tonight, commissioners, is do you want to be a part of the fascist regime by continuing to open up detention centers? Or do you want to be part of democracy? Do you want to be a part of pushing back? Do you want to be proud of what you've done here in your community? What you do here tonight will impact everyone in the state of New Jersey. People are brought to the Elizabeth Detention Center, and they are now being transferred to Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey, where the Department of Homeland Security walks around in masks with AR-15s and SWAT team trucks. They are throwing peaceful protesters to the ground. They are arresting members of Congress and mayors of our cities. It could be you next. It really could. It could be any one of us. They are coming for every single one of us that stands up for democracy. It's important to me. I stand here for my community because it doesn't matter that I'm white. It doesn't matter. I am here as a part of the community. And I care about everyone in my community. And I want them all to have stability, to have security. People are coming to this country because we are going and waging war in their countries, ruining their economies. And they have nowhere to go but here. They are coming as refugees. And Trump is reassigning them and calling them criminals for simply wanting a better life for their children. The question tonight is, will you be a part of the fascist regime by opening up another detention center, or will you be a part of pushing back against it? Thank you so much.
Any members of the public that numbers 11 through 15, please feel free to approach the podium.
Thanks. I'm Adam McGovern, and I work at Wind of the Spirit Immigrant Resource Center out of the Quaker Meeting House in the proud and unintimidated sanctuary city of Plainfield. That city is represented in Congress by Bonnie Watson Coleman, who I saw with my own eyes last week put herself on the line for people no one can see and set an example for people on both sides of the barbed wire of what kind of caring we are all called to as human beings and what kind of service we are owed by those who would claim to represent us. In the moment a small army was roughing up an 80-year-old woman and other officials that the people actually chose and want in their city and state, and jailing one of them, I saw my country change in dangerous ways. And at the same time, I saw our values and our people standing up to it stronger than ever. What I didn't see is anyone who's up on this dais. And I'd like to know if you see a change in what our circumstances are and what your duty is after ICE showed exactly what it thinks of the communities I cherish and exactly how much respect it will show you once you relinquish this county's resources to their control. You are only of use to them as accomplices, and that's something that the whole country will also see. You can set the rules yourself and fail to exclude ICE's criminal enterprise, and then say you're locked into it. But you'll go home, and you'll be able to go home and have to figure out how to look your families in the eye, while the victims of your decision will stay locked up and may never see their loved ones again. So I want to see what's in that RFP and when you'll reveal it to the light of day and to your own constituents' view. Or if you'll help sleepwalk and calm down and condescend and disrespect us into a police state. I don't want to be standing in front of another dungeon a year from now, and it depends on what you decide. Depending on what you decide, no one will have to. So I want to know if you understand that things have changed and if you can change.
Good evening. My name is Maria Eva Dorigo. I came all the way from Essex, from Montclair, Essex County, to express my opposition to the possible use of Union County Jail as a nice detention center. I spent the first 10 years of my life under dictatorship. It was a very dark period. I had to be silent to survive. I experienced state violence myself. During those years, dissidents were picked up from the streets, their houses, their shop places, by masked agents. They were thrown inside unmarked cars and taken to undisclosed locations. They are all disappeared. They are remain disappeared. The regime took students, teachers, union leaders, Jewish people, gays. ICE has turned into a paramilitary force in charge of terrorizing neighborhoods. We must refrain from giving them any resources, any opportunity to expand their activities, to separate families, to impose suffering. We must not allow one more detention center in New Jersey. If we allow the third one to be open, there will be a fourth, a fifth, a sixth. At this moment, institutions must step up to protect individuals. University, politicians like you must show up and put their bodies on the line, like Mayor Baraka did last Friday. If they don't, we individuals are vulnerable to all types of abuses. ICE is now being used to arrest, to deport immigrants. Make no mistake about it, we are next. I implore you, be the leaders that we need at this time, and do everything in your power to prevent another detention center from being opened in New Jersey. Thank you.
David Heller, Cranford, New Jersey. I think this is the second time I've addressed you. The last time I asked that you not put up for bid the jail for any purpose. I was unsuccessful in persuading you, and your decision would have been a rational and normal one if these were ordinary times or this was business as usual. You all know what happened at the Delaney Center. You saw a mayor and members of Congress, I won't dress it up by saying arrested, they were very nearly kidnapped. You know that today, not somewhere else, not at some indefinite day, the Solicitor General of the United States was before the Supreme Court arguing that the protections of the 14th Amendment of birthright citizenship be abolished. This is not something speculative. This is what's going on now. To say or to act as if these were ordinary times or business as usual would be to willfully self-delude. Do not be self-deluded. This is what is going on. You have the power to condition any sale of that property on it not being used in any way, shape, or form by ICE or any private corporation or anyone else as a detention center for immigrants. You can do that unanimously, and you can do it at your pleasure. To fail to do that is when your country is calling on you in a time of unparalleled crisis to be marked down as found wanting. I am asking you tonight not to be marked down as found wanting. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Betsy Fabricant. I live in Elizabeth, New Jersey. I've lived here for the past 46 years, raised my 2 children here. They attended public schools here. I taught in the Elizabeth school system. I taught for the Union County Regional High Schools as an itinerant teacher. I've helped found the coalition, the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless, and have worked for over 43 years to secure housing for the housing insecure. My children both married immigrants, one from Bolivia, one from Honduras, and it took them 10 years to get their citizenship. I voted Democratic in every election because I believed in the values that are embedded in the Democratic Party. I am outraged that you would put up this jail for bid and consider having ICE run a detention center, another detention center here in Elizabeth, my community that I love and that I've worked hard to build. I find myself questioning my allegiance to the Democratic Party. Where is your courage? If Baraka and 3 members of Congress can stand up for what is right against this administration, I would hope that my county representatives can do the same. In your bid, when you put it out there, if you say clearly you will not sell to a detention center, whether it's a privately run or ICE facility, it cannot be bid on by them. You have to do that. You have to protect what makes this beautiful community in this country so valuable. Immigrants are not criminals. They are the backbone of this country. Say no to ICE and do what's right.
Good evening. My name is Cara Murillo, Union Township. I was born and raised in Union County. I lived out of state for 15 years, but I decided to move back, and I am now an educator here. I have always known Union County to be a place where people of different cultural, religious, and linguistic backgrounds live in harmony. We attended school together, and worshiped together in peace. Our county is home to diverse groups of people who migrated to the United States, specifically New Jersey, in search of safety, socioeconomic opportunities, and stability. By contrast, the board's decision to consider bids from private jails run by CoreCivic and Geo Group is a direct threat to communities in Union County. This also completely ignores the state law that bans additional detention centers. This ignores the will of the people who fought for this law to be passed and prioritizes profit for multi-billion-dollar companies like CoreCivic. This week, CoreCivic CEO Damon Heininger boasted that his company is a worthy competitor. He is a businessman. He boasted he's a worthy competitor to El Salvador's CICOT, the notorious CICOT, which is on record for committing multiple human rights violations, including torture and disappearances. Last week, I was pleased to see the board support Mayor Ras Baraka after his wrongful arrest at Delaney Hall, but words mean nothing without action. I ask that the commissioners reject any bids from CoreCivic, Geo Group, or any ICE affiliates. After witnessing Mayor Baraka's arrest, I ask the board to consider how private prisons will similar companies will dismantle local power at the municipal, county, and state levels. These companies are using xenophobic rhetoric to build consent for illegal abductions and arrests, which unravel our communities by disappearing friends and neighbors, separating families, and creating a state of fear. This will impact all residents. CoreCivic's presence in Union County will be inviting federal overreach into our communities, and no one is truly safe if power is given to private corporations. Union County thrives when people have affordable housing, food, and the ability to live and work without fear. Keep our communities democratic and safe. Reject any bids from Core Civic and ICE affiliates. Thank you.
Any members in the public with numbers 16 to 20, you're welcome to the podium.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Cynthia Galeota, and I reside in South Orange in Essex County. Over the past 2 weeks, I and others have taken part in the rallies at Delaney Hall Detention Center in Newark. Last Friday, I witnessed Mayor Baraka being arrested by a phalanx of armed, masked men as he peacefully attempted to exercise his municipal powers. Now, over a matter of days, the site has become weaponized with giant SUVs and blockades in the driveway, no trespassing signs, and always a group of masked, armed men staring down the crowd, who are on some days, many of us are women over the age of 65. We are peaceful, we are chanting, we are singing. What is ICE so afraid of? I know what I am fearful of. A detention center facility in Elizabeth that will only increase the chaos, cruelty, and lawlessness of this administration. I am afraid of a detention facility in Elizabeth that will wrench loved ones from their family. I am afraid of a detention facility in Elizabeth that will increase the fear and danger for Black and brown individuals who live here. I always thought of our U.S. government, imperfect as it is, as a vehicle for sharing the benefits and burdens for the good of all, but not any longer. We are living in a time when our government is crumbling, when cruelty is being normalized, and when our freedoms are narrower and narrower. Do you really, Union County Commissioners, want to be complicit in the erosion of our human rights? What can possibly justify that? Profit? Because on a human level, it makes no sense. Toni Morrison, the writer, wrote that the descent into a final solution is not a jump, but a step, and then another step, and another. Please don't take another step toward the trampling of our Constitution and the dismantling of our rights by further enabling ICE agents to snatch people off the streets and disappear them into detention centers. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Susan Verchek. I live in Maplewood, New Jersey. I simply want to say there should be no more detention centers in New Jersey, particularly in Elizabeth, in the city of Elizabeth. You have heard the poignant stories of people who have come here to live and to thrive and be part of our community. The reason there should be no more detention centers is that since the last meeting, Core Civic opened Delaney Hall to run it as an ICE detention center. They did it in a sneaky way. They did it without a valid certificate of occupancy. There have been peaceful demonstrations on a regular basis in front of Delaney Hall. On May 9th, this is what I saw. I saw 3 members of Congress, lawfully elected, attempting to exercise their oversight review of federal institutions. And I also saw the mayor of our largest city want to be present there and to be part of the concern about the citations. He was not demonstrating, he was just there. He was invited in, and then he was disinvited in. The mayor came to the other side of the fence. We saw this. We were a few feet away. And all of a sudden, somebody said on the other side of the fence, not in the public driveway, someone said, the mayor will be arrested. The 3 members of Congress instinctively turned to the mayor, went through the fence, and tried to surround him. he was then swarmed, as my friend Cynthia just said, he was swarmed by 10 or so, I don't know the number, black uniforms, camouflage uniforms, masks, heavily armed, like something out of a horrible movie. I ask you, if these ICE agents and their backers are willing to do this to the mayor of the largest city of the state of New Jersey, and if they're willing to lay hands on two women who belong to the Congress and shove around the third member of Congress, if they do that in full view of the public and the press, what are they doing to the detainees? It's not good. So I just ask you, I know you can't close Delaney Hall, but we will continue to try to do that. But you have the ability to prevent a new jail in the city of Elizabeth. Thank you.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I went down to Delaney Hall on April 28th and 29th and May 1st because they indicated on that Monday that they were opening the detention center. They had said they were going to open it in June or July. I think they sped it up because they're worried about this court case and in case they disallow private prisons. So they opened it May 1st. And I was there to talk to the employees before they opened it. I handed out a little card that said many reasons why they shouldn't work there. And I encouraged them maybe to think about not working there. It's very difficult because it's economically good money. However, people need to flip my card over and realize that every major religion says that we are to welcome the foreigner. We are to welcome the stranger. And now tell me, if you stand outside Elizabeth Detention Center or Delaney Hall, how did we get to this point? How did we get here? Anyone with a shred of religiosity, that everybody stands up and salutes the flag and talks about under God and they have religion? Okay, if you have religion, you have no business having these detention centers. None, zero. I would also like to say I am the bearer of bad news because I was down there and I was listening to the employees. And the employees, when I asked them about Delaney Hall, Delaney, wait. When I asked them about the opening of the county jail, they said, oh, we all know about that. The employees of GEO know about that. And they said to me, that's a done deal. That's a done deal. That's what they said. So, Mr. Oatman, can you tell me, is that a done deal? I don't really want to stand here and talk to you about this process if this is a done deal. Okay, let's now connect some dots. We stand on the verge of the discretionary budget request of Richard Vaught, who wrote the Project 2025. And that project says within 180 days, we're going to not have an America. And they are very close to that. And when they passed this discretionary budget request, every city in America should be holding hearings on that. Every Democrat in America and every Republican in America should be holding hearings on this discretionary budget. This discretionary budget is going to destroy your agenda, where you're getting money from the state and money from the feds to do real things for real people. There will be none of that next year. There will be none of that. And there will be $46 billion for ICE jails. $46 billion for ICE jails alone. You know what?
Thank you. Time is up. Thank you. Please sit down.
I'm sorry,
Please sit down. Please. Please sit down. Please sit down. Or if you don't sit, please remove. Please remove yourself.
Anyone from the public that have cards for 21 to 25, feel free to approach the podium.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Jean Fortin.
I'm sorry, before you start, I just want to remind everyone, you have 3 minutes. Please observe that so everyone has an opportunity to speak and so we can hold decorum here. Thank you.
I could have given her some of my time. My name is Jean Fortin. I moved to Union County about 5 years ago. It appears that someone has told this body that there is some fiscal responsibility to be seen in letting that building be used for a purpose that will, in fact, eviscerate the community that the building is located in. You're being misled by arguments of fiscal responsibility. It's being hoodwinked. The purpose of detention jails is to flush the immigrant community out of our cities and out of our state, frankly. You know how much the immigrant community has created here. You know that most of those businesses on Broad Street exist because of the immigrant community. Why would you want them to be scared away? Why do you want them out of Plainfield, out of some, what purpose does that serve? The little bit of money, it's millions, but yeah, the little bit of money you could get from selling or renting that building for a detention center will be lost over and over and over again, and you will have your consciences to answer for however people are treated. And don't let anyone tell you that there is a possibility that you'll be able to supervise what goes on in there. You saw what happened in Newark. Believe me, and it'll be right here in your lap, like, 500 feet away, maybe less. You have the opportunity, as I said the last time I spoke, to ensure that that building is not used for people's misery. Do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I appreciate you listening this evening. I'm here tonight with Resistencia en Acción. My name is Ayel Leahy. I've driven almost 2 hours to be here to talk on my friend and colleague, and I want to pull up her testimony. So I'm speaking on behalf of Asma Alhouni. She's a fellow Resistencia member and an organizer who could not be here tonight. And here's what she had to say. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person, but I appreciate the opportunity to share a few words. Since my last testimony, I was arrested for protesting the opening of Delaney Hall, a federal immigration detention center in Newark. Although many clergy and peaceful demonstrators were present, I was still taken and arrested. This is what the system is built to do: criminalize, target, and silence our black, brown bodies. While I was in custody at the 5th Precinct in Newark, I witnessed firsthand the conditions that people are subjected to. The meals provided were poor quality. It was clear that those detained were not seen as deserving or even the most basic standards of care. The treatment is a painful reminder about the reasons people wind up in detention centers to begin with, because they are regarded as less than human, born to the wrong skin tone, language, and religion. As someone who often faces discrimination in the system, I cannot overstate the urgency of intentionality in avoiding the creation of these sites of punishment, because history has shown us they will be filled, and oftentimes by those whose society marks as undesirable. This is about a system where black and brown people are funneled from prison into immigration detention, treated as disposable at every stage. I urge this commission to take a clear stand, oppose the expansion of the detention centers, and fight for the policies that respect the dignity and humanity of all people, regardless of immigration status. We are not asking for special treatment, but instead we are asking for assurance that the tools created to target our communities are never built in the first place. Those who bid for these buildings won't accept this as a possibility. So additionally, as being there and all these protested, I'd like to add a call to action. We are begging you, knowing that these are being built to not allow this. As all of the people who have said it echo, build something greater. Build something that builds our communities. Look at our history. We don't want 1938 Germany. That's not who we are. That's not what we'll stand for. You all have mothers and families. We are all immigrants. We all are. So let's do what's right and be on the right side of history. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Isaac Jimenez. I'm a lifelong resident of Elizabeth until recently. I now reside in Jersey City, but this is a regional issue, so I come before you tonight after talking with many Elizabeth residents about this very issue and the crisis in our democracy. As many speakers have told you tonight, we do face a crisis in our democracy. Now, we also face a fiscal crisis, and I want to highlight again what that one speaker said about the budget shortfalls that are coming at the federal and state level that will affect this body, will affect your ability to do your jobs. And so the questions that lie before you are extremely political. And I want to talk a little bit tonight about the difference between policy and politics. You see, in terms of policy, Delaney Hall did not have the permits to open up. It did anyway. In terms of policy, many immigrants who are being detained, their due process is being sidestepped. You know, policy is just not winning the moment right now. So what we need from this body is politics. What we need is a statement. What we need is a resolution disapproving the use of immigrant incarceration at this former jail. We need some politics from this body tonight, okay? We need more moments like Mayor Baraka. We need this body to take a stand in this unprecedented crisis that we face in our democracy. And we should look at history. We should look at the way that we fought in the past in this country. And there's a story being told about this country that's a complete lie that is trying to overwrite this country's history. You see, in this country, non-citizens have had rights. They've participated in our elections even. And now we're trying to change what this country is and what a city like Elizabeth is, which is 50% immigrant, 50% non-citizen. Okay, so this body needs to take a look at the political options in front of it to stop this, right? And whatever policy drives you to accept any bid, you know, that the billions of dollars coming for immigrant incarceration can bid for this project, we need politics to fight that. So we ask this body tonight to make a statement, make a stand with the neighbors of Elizabeth, from Elizabeth to Plainfield, that are against immigrant incarceration here in Union County. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ana Paola Pazmiño. I'm here with Resistencia en Acción. This is my third time here, and I drive all the way from Princeton to not only make this a Union County issue, but it's really a statewide issue. On Monday, we were with about 50 clergy members at Delaney Hall, peacefully protesting, and as one of my comrades here said, when we're talking to those employees and when we're talking to people who are family members wanting to visit their detention center, they are not getting in. Those employees know more probably than what you know, and that's sad, right? Today, I don't want to reiterate what you have heard, and as a director with two of the organizers that were detained that day and arrested for the politics that are happening here in the state of New Jersey, but that will overall make a big burden for Union County if there's another detention center. And really, our immigration detention and the crime migration system as a whole, right, serves no legitimate purpose. So if there are things that we have to fix, it's not with making another detention center. No one should be caged. No one should be kidnapped. And we know that Delaney Hall is a key source of kidnapping people and deporting them through the Newark airport system because it's so close. So as we know information and as we come before you, I hope that you do not take this lightly. These are serious conditions. There's people who have not seen their family members. There are people who don't even know where they are. And this is not only for the Latino community. There was a specific Polish family that was there and that was not let in about 2 to 3 times. So, as we have seen in the news this week, we are facing a racist government, and you do not want to be part of that system now that we are letting refugees from South Africa come in as well, and that's okay. So you see how the disparity is happening? Please be on the right side and make justice for your position and what you do as politicians. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Maya. I'm also with Resistencia. And a couple of months ago, I came and talked about my Judaism, the rise of fascism, and how we need to plant seeds in the garden of change to hopefully get this commission to restrict the bid of the Union County Jail so that it can not go to any mass incarceration purposes. I'm very grateful for the commissioners who voted not to open the sale without restrictions. Thank you so much. And unfortunately, those moral arguments and the arguments from hundreds of community members didn't win the day on the dangers of an unrestricted bid. And I know you know, but for the crowd's benefit, we need the bid to be restricted because New Jersey law forces you to only consider the highest bid. So you can say you're against a detention center, but if Geo Group puts in the highest bid, you're gonna have to turn down their millions and get nothing, or accept it and get a detention center. So that's why we need to legally restrict the bid beforehand, before the bids come in, so we can tailor it so we can only consider the bids we want. So unfortunately, the moral arguments didn't seem to work, so I have some economic ones. I'm a master's student in Princeton University's public policy program, and I've spent the last month looking at the economics of turning former jails like Union County into affordable housing, job training centers, and other opportunities for economic growth. And there are examples across the country, from New York, Virginia, Texas, everywhere, where developers, community organizations, local governments, state governments have transformed former jails into affordable housing. They've transformed it into racial and economic justice programming. They've transformed it into job training facilities. And these transformations have not only profited the counties that sold the jails, right? Because you might have a housing developer who purchases it. They might not pay as much as Geo Group, but they could pay enough to pay down the fiscal deficit that the county's facing, right? But they also make the county money in the long run. There's a social and racial justice transformation in Dallas that is projected to add $6 billion of economic growth to the community. And in addition, there's a movie theater transformation that happened in New York that created 1,000 permanent jobs. So this is not a choice between addressing your budget problems and doing the right thing. I hate to talk about the Elizabeth community in terms of these dollars and cents, because people shouldn't be incarcerated because it's wrong, and people deserve housing because they're human beings, right? They're not a meal ticket for the county based on their rent. But you actually can have it both ways, but not if you don't restrict the bid. If you don't restrict the bid, you're gonna be forced to choose between nothing and incarceration. When you take the time to consult with the community, to prepare and to legally restrict the bid, to only consider the bids you want, there are ways for the county to still make money off the sale and to grow the economy of the community. And actually, you might get some money up front from Geo Group, but it's gonna cost the county budget in the long run. Because when we don't have affordable housing, our medical costs, our emergency costs.
Thank you. Please close your remarks. Please stop talking.
Any member from the public, that has a number up to 30 is welcome to the podium.
Good evening, folks. I'm Jordy. I'm a member of CWA and also the co-chair of Union County DSA. I want to commend all the speakers who came before me for all their incredible points on why we should not have a detention center to take immigrants who built this community. I'm a son of 2 immigrant parents who came to this country to live a better life, many of which have also wanted to have a better economic future, and one of them is left during the height of the Guatemalan Civil War. We've seen what's going on in our communities. We've seen what just happened in Newark when the mayor of the city, who was trying to do an inspection, which he has the obligation to do it, was then arrested while many of the congressional members also tried to do the same thing, but were blocked out. We're noticing ICE is becoming like the Gestapo, like that we've seen from Nazi Germany, even the SS, coming in like thugs. And they want to treat immigrants like we're rapists and criminals, when in reality, we are the backbones of our community. And soon, I met with one CWA member. They told me they might come for us, even if we're citizens. The jail should not even become a detention center. It should have done something better for the common good. We should have used it to help contribute to our economy and to help house people who are in urgent need. Instead, if anyone in the highest bidder, like Geo Group or CoreCivic, comes to that detention center, they want to bid it so high, they would have turned it into a monstrosity, and havoc will come against us. This is why we need to tread carefully with this bid. We should not let ICE to come in. We should ban any type of bid that includes ICE or any private detention center to be used for this bid. We need the common good to come together, the people who are behind me, to support and fight for a better solution that's better than having ICE to come to our backyards. We do not want ICE to come back and take our children, to take our families, to take fellow workers out from us. It is time we do something right. And I encourage you to do the right thing. Don't even think of getting ICE to bring back to our communities. They should never, never, ever be in our backyard. It is time we bring a community center or something valuable for us. And I encourage you to do the right thing. Otherwise, you will be next to be complicit for your actions. I appreciate your time, and do the right thing.
Good evening. My name is Amika Chalia, and I speak on behalf of the ACLU of New Jersey. The ACLU of New Jersey is a statewide civil rights and civil liberties organization based in Newark, New Jersey. We continue to stand in opposition to the sale of the Union County Jail to detain immigrants, and we hope that the Commission will take action today, after all of these meetings, to ensure that this facility, located in the heart of Elizabeth, does not cause more harm to residents of this community and to our state. New Jersey is one of the most diverse states in the country, second only to California in terms of share of immigrant population. 1 in 4 New Jerseyans is an immigrant, 1 in 6 is a U.S. citizen with an immigrant parent, and we are home to many mixed status families. There's actually about 200,000 young people here in New Jersey with an undocumented family member. And so we come to you today, as we have come twice before, because we understand what's at stake here for our community, because we hope you will understand what is at stake here for our community, and because we know of the harm that this will cause. At this moment in our country's history, when federal agencies like ICE and DHS are trampling on our constitutional and civil rights, and as they are being weaponized against our communities, all of our elected leaders, including county commissioners, have a moral obligation to stand with members of the community and to ensure that their actions, that your actions, do not threaten the safety and security of residents that live here. Yet that is exactly what a new immigration detention center in Elizabeth would do. ICE itself acknowledges in legal filings that a reduction in bed capacity leads to shifts in enforcement priorities. The proximity of beds locally only means more intense enforcement. Delaney Hall, located just down the road in Newark, is currently only 15% full, according to reporting by CBS, which means that more than 800 beds are open. Whose families will be torn apart? How many children will be traumatized? How many more will get hurt if this commission allows for the sale of the Union County Jail for Immigration Detention? Just how much suffering is enough? Continuing the process to sell the Union County Jail without a robust review process, an RFP or an invitation to bid that has a restriction that prevents the sale of this facility for Immigration Detention Center goes completely against everything you have heard from people of this community and of this county and of the state that have shown up time and time again to ask you to reconsider and to stand with them. Everyone here today is asking you to keep their families safe. That is it. It is the most simple request they could be making of you. The assurance that they are asking of you to not allow for a facility in this state that will continue to harm their community is the simplest possible ask they could make of you. And so we ask you to make it. Thank you.
My name is Kathy O'Leary. I am the New Jersey Region Coordinator for Pax Christi. We are we represent the International Catholic Peace Movement in the United States. In Vatican II, it was established that mass deportation is an intrinsic evil, something that was reaffirmed by John Paul II. And for those of you who have been to Catholic school, you will know that an intrinsic evil is something that can never be justified and must always be opposed. What you are about to do is enter into an agreement that will have you cooperating with evil. I don't think you want to do that. I don't think you're horrible people. But you really should know exactly what you're getting into because you've had a detention facility in your county for over 30 years. It is one of the most notorious detention facilities in the country. You all should know that. People have died there. You should know that. You should have been there. You should be doing something to end that jail. So, and just so you know, for the record, they don't own that property. That property is owned by Elberon Development Corp., and I'm sure you're familiar with who they are. I'm sure they've given many of you donations for your campaigns. That lease, however, is up in 2027. I would hope that you're having conversations with your benefactor about ending that contract, about leasing that to someone else. And while we're at it, you need to make sure, I would like to see, as some of the other people said here tonight, a commitment from you tonight, a resolution saying that you will not move forward with a sale to a private prison. I was there when Terry spoke to that GEO Group employee. I can affirm that that's what he said. The people who are being held there are people from your city. They are rounding up people from your city. And I was staring down that it wasn't an M16, but it had a silencer on it and it had a laser sight. And there was also a Bearcat 2 in the parking lot. And at least a dozen masked, armed men with body armor. Do you want that in your city? That's what's coming here. That's what's coming here for sure. And by the way, ICE had no business arresting, and it wasn't an arrest, it was a kidnapping. They have no authority over US citizens. They took him and disappeared him to an ICE facility for hours. They did that to the mayor of the largest city. They roughed up an 80-year-old congresswoman.
Thank you.
That's coming for you, that's coming for me, that's coming for all of us.
Please step back. Thank you.
Evening. Hello. Good evening. Mary Heller, Cranford. Been a Union County resident for 40 years. Want to say once again, as I did last time I was here, the U.S. needs immigrants. Immigrants are not criminals. Statistically speaking, immigrants are less likely than natural-born citizens to commit crimes. The criminals are ICE. They will not just rough up members of Congress and abduct the mayor of a city, duly elected. They will smash the car window of a terrified woman and her daughter. They will snatch a mother off of the street of Worcester, Mass. In front of her child and her grandchild. They will say they don't need warrants. They will wear masks so they cannot be identified. They will take a law-abiding Maryland father, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and human traffic him to a torture dungeon in El Salvador. It is ICE who are the criminals. And they work for a criminal regime that ignores due process, that ignores habeas corpus, that ignores innocent until proven guilty. They are the criminals. Please do not invite them into this community. Thank you.
I'm Mike Fabricant. My partner spoke earlier. So I'm not going to introduce the number of years, the work we've done. I begin with the fact that I think you're all smart people. You understand large parts of what we're talking about. And I don't want to repeat what's been said so eloquently. And I believe it has been said eloquently and heartfelt. It's been said with passion. And it is a moment where people feel. It's not just about ideas and words. It's about feeling what's changing and who's paying the price for that change. So I want to begin with two pieces here. There's not one among you who's been elected who is other than a Democrat. You're all Democrats. We have a regime in Washington, D.C. that is looking to be fundamentally restructure the entire political, economic, and social structure of this country. I would expect nothing less from Democrats. You understand that. It's you who have to be a part of a resistance. It's you who have to be part of an opposition to earn the trust of people who've elected you. We didn't elect you for no reason. We elected you to embody the values that we imagine of the Democratic Party, as often as we've been shorted on that. The values of this country, as imperfect as it may be, but the country we imagine it can be and will become. I know people who make decisions that are ultimately decisions that, I can't read it. 1 minute left. 1 minute, that are soulless. I'm hoping you make the decision that doesn't leave you soulless. This one decision may seem like a small little piece of a larger project in this country, but it's not. If you affirm it, you lend it momentum. You lend it legitimacy. You lend it your name. Your name is on it. And the Democratic Party's name is on it when it should be a moment of resistance. Resistance comes out of commitment and will. Do you have the commitment and will to live your values? Do you have the commitment? If you do, you will do what some have suggested. Make it impossible for this center to be sold to a for-profit company.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. If there's anyone left in the audience, I believe we gave out all the cards, but we'll take up to 35 at this point. Is there anyone left in the audience that was looking to speak?
Seeing no one else, I will formally close this portion of the meeting and ask the county manager to answer any of the questions.
Thank you, Chair. For 429, yes, by law, you need a resolution for a count number change. For 417, it is the expansion of the center and also to upgrade the system. For the golf center, I don't have that resolution in front of me, but it is much more than a fence and some grass. This is to upgrade the bays for the top tracer and a golf system. It's your call. Where's Bruce? I don't know. that's the answer, Chair.
At this time, may I have a motion to adopt?
Madam Chair, if I might just address one of them before we move on. It was a question concerning
Yes.
Resolution 469, the RCCP. I want to point out that the questioner was another bidder on that project. The bids opened some month ago. They sent a letter in at 3:30 this afternoon raising these issues. I believe that our process was correct. There is no proper objection, and that is why I'm recommending the board proceed with awarding that or passing that resolution tonight. Thank you, Chair.
May I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2025 through -412 through 2025-493?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. It was moved by Commissioner Mirabella and seconded by Commissioner Williams. Clerk of the board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker.
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisford.
Aye.
Commissioner Granados.
Abstain on 472, 453, 464, and aye to the rest.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella.
Abstain on 421, 455, and 472. Aye to the rest.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek.
Abstain on 454 and 472, and aye to the rest.
And Chairwoman Leon.
Aye.
Please let the record reflect you have 9 votes in the affirmative on all resolutions, with the exception of the following resolutions where you have 8 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention. Those are 2025-421, 2025-453, 2025-454, 2025-455, and 2025-464. And you have 6 votes in the affirmative with 3 abstentions on Resolution 2025-472.
Thank you. At this time, I will call upon my colleagues for comments, and I will start with Commissioner Baker.
Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Chair. Once again, you know, the thoughts and feelings of the members of the audience, you know, I think are very passionate, very understandable, and you know, have been heard by at least myself, and I'm sure by my colleagues. You know, we appreciate the fact that you've come here tonight to exercise your right to speak before this body, and excuse me, and let it be known that your concerns and your passion relative to this issue have not gone unnoticed. And you know, as far as my comments are concerned, I think that's as far as I'm going to go with it tonight. No comment.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So 2 things. One, I'm excited to share that the Union County Board of County Commissioners will once again be celebrating Pride Month this June with 2 great events that reflect our ongoing commitment to equality, inclusion, and community. First, on Monday, June 2nd at 12:30 p.m., we'll kick things off with our annual LGBTQ+ Pride flag raising at the Union County Courthouse. It's a powerful moment for us to stand together to honor the progress that we have made as a community and to hear from some inspiring voices for advocacy and empowerment. Then that Saturday, June 7th, we'll be hosting the 2nd annual Pride 5K and Fun Color Run at Oak Ridge Park. And whether you're walking, running, or just cheering from the sidelines, it's all about joy, unity, and celebrating who we are together. You can find full event details and registration info online at ucnj.org/pride. I hope to see many of you there. The other comment that I wanted to make sort of goes along with what my colleague Commissioner Baker said. Much appreciative of everyone who came here this evening and spoke. As Commissioner Baker said, your concerns have not gone unnoticed, and certainly in light of what we have seen in terms of the breakdown of democracy in our nation. Right next door in the city of Newark, what happened with my Congresswoman, Bonnie Watson Coleman, and the other Congress people, as well as Mayor Ras Baraka, is shameful. And I agree with everything that you all have said about that. With regard to the RFP, it has not been completed as yet, and I've said at previous meetings, in private conversations, in emails, and in texts, everyone knows where I stand. I'm not in favor of reopening a jail that closed. However, just for clarification, the RFP is to see what sort of interest there would be in that property. I certainly understand the concerns because of what it looks like structurally right now. Several folks have mentioned over the past several weeks what they would like to see. Some of my own thoughts ideally are in line with those ideas as well. Everyone has a right to express themselves, and I again applaud, as a card-carrying member of the ACLU for a number of years, I applaud everyone speaking their mind and also letting us know what it is that you are thinking moment by moment, and I believe in our country and in democracy. Thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Madam Chair, excuse me. I didn't necessarily mean to cut off my comments altogether, because there is an announcement relative to a county service that needs to be spoken about. And I'll be brief if you'll indulge me. And this may be appropriate to some of you out here who are maybe planning to get married next month, the month of June. Starting this June, Union County Surrogate Christopher Hudak will begin officiating free wedding ceremonies each month for Union County residents. This new offering reflects the surrogate's commitment to making meaningful moments even more accessible for our community. Ceremonies will take place at the Warnaco Sports Center and are available online, by online registration on a first-come, first-served basis. It's a great opportunity for couples to celebrate their special day close to home, surrounded by the beauty of one of our premier county parks. For more details or to schedule a ceremony, visit www.ucnj.org/surrogate. And I hope some of you take advantage of it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Palmieri Mudet.
Thank you, Chairwoman. This past weekend, in celebration of Mother's Day, the Union County Board of County Commissioners was proud to announce the 2025 nominees for the Union County Shero Award. This special honor recognizes women who have gone above and beyond to make a meaningful difference in their communities through leadership, service, and dedication. These Sheros come from all across Union County and reflect the incredible strength, diversity, and compassion that define our residents. I would love for you to check out the full list of these honorees at ucnj.org/Shero-award. And I want to congratulate many of these women. Jamie from Union College is here today. She is one of our honorees, very well deserved. So congratulations to you. And if there's anyone else in the audience, I'm sorry if I missed you. I'm also reading comments from Commissioner Kowalski to remind us that the 2025 Union County Women Mean Business Summit is taking place on Wednesday, May 28th at the Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth. It is our 11th year that brings this event together. It's an opportunity for women all across Union County, entrepreneurs, professionals, community leaders come together for a day of networking, education, and empowerment. It's a wonderful event. I've attended many, many years, and if you attend, you will enjoy breakfast and lunch. There are breakout sessions, and this year's keynote speaker is Dean Megan Rabin of the Douglas Residential College at Rutgers University. So for more information on this event, please visit ucnj.org/UCWMB. And as both of my colleagues have already said, I do want to also thank all of our residents, whether you're Union County or not, for coming to share your thoughts and opinions on the opportunity to do something with the space here in Union County. Again, as I said last meeting, the vote that we took was on interest in the property, and that is it. And we are in the process of finalizing an RFP, and I want you to all know that we are listening to everything that you are saying, and I do have confidence as a community we will do the right thing. So thank you so much for attending our meeting. If this was your first time or your many times that you come, your voice matters, and we are listening to every one of you. Thank you.
Commissioner Granados.
Thank you, Chair. As stated before, we thank everyone's comments. We listen to every single person who comes here and speaking about what should be taking place at the county jail, what you feel in reference to how this can affect our local communities. As you've heard from commissioners here on the dais too, individuals who do not support a detention center, individuals who would not vote for it if it comes forward with it. And I'm one of those individuals also who do not support a detention center here in Elizabeth. And something that, as the county commissioner stated before, it is RFP that basically goes out right now currently to see what's out there, to see the different interests that are taking place. So don't take it automatically if you hear from individuals saying that's definitely going to be detention center. This RFP basically goes out to basically get bids from different individuals, different organizations, in seeing what's possibly out there for the county jail. I just want to make sure everyone's well aware of that. And with that said, just want to thank everyone for coming here, for speaking. May your voices heard. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Mirabella.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have anything to add to what my colleagues have said regarding any potential RFP or anything going on. So I'll let those comments speak for themselves, and I appreciate what they did, and I appreciate all of you for coming out to voice your opinion. That's how the process works, and I'm sure we're all listening very intently and going to weigh very carefully each step of the way as we move forward. I do want to mention a few other things that are more statewide from a county perspective and a county organization. Last week there was a convention of the New Jersey Association of Counties, and I want to really thank and highlight Robert Charkowski, who heads our LGBTQ office here in Union County, and he was part of a panel with 4 other counties, Mercer County, Bergen, Essex, and Union. We were the first county in the state of New Jersey and only the 4th nationally several years ago when we established the Office of LGBTQ Affairs. And Robert did a nice job highlighting for the whole state to hear what we're doing, how we're doing it, and what our office does to help those people involved with the LGBTQ. So I wanted to thank him. And the other thing I wanted to say from a county perspective, a national state organization perspective, was, and I'm sorry that Commissioner Kowalski had to leave, because I really wanted her to hear, and I hope people will tell her of my comments tonight. I've had the honor of working with Freeholder, now Commissioner Kowalski, for over 20 years. Last week, she was inducted into the New Jersey Association of Counties Commissioner Hall of Fame, a recognition that speaks volumes about her years of dedicated service and quiet strength and leadership. She was first elected in 2004. I've had the privilege of working closely with her, and I can tell you there's few people as thoughtful, compassionate, and committed to public service as Betty Jane. Commissioners Leon, our chair, Vice Chair Bodek, Commissioners Granados, Williams, Palmieri, Mudet, and myself, along with County Clerk Rajapi, were all on hand and proud to celebrate this well-deserved honor and milestone. So I will call her tomorrow and read this to her, but I did want to publicly give my praise for a person, a colleague, and someone who's a dear, dear friend of mine who's done such good for over 2 decades in our community, and she deserves that recognition. And I want to thank her, and I'm sure she leaves an extremely strong legacy, particularly as it relates to the environment and our park system. But she's been a dear friend and is very, very worthy of this Hall of Fame designation. With that, Madam Chair, I will conclude my comments.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Dellisfort.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm thrilled to invite all of you to Union County's signature summer events. There's a Rhythm and Blues by the Brook. It's coming up on Saturday, June 7th from 12 to 6 p.m. at Cedarbrook Park in Plainfield. It's a free, family-friendly festival. It brings together incredible music, including performances by Russell Tompkins Jr. and the New Stylistics, Ruben Studdard's tribute to Luther Vandross, Black Sheep, and more. There's something for everyone, children, a health and wellness fair, a classic car show, and a food and vendor marketplace which will be open all day. So please come out, bring your friends, bring your family, and come and enjoy a full day of community culture and great music. You can visit www.ucnj.org/RANDB for details, and we hope to see you there. I'd also like to say thank you all for coming out this evening. We hear you, and we appreciate the fact that you didn't just come with comments, but you came with solution-oriented comments. And that matters because it says that you did your research, and it says that you really care about your county and all the municipalities, and most importantly, the people in Union County. And so again, we appreciate you. I think it was egregious what happened to Ras Baraka last week, as well as our congresswomen. Today I'm looking at the news. He's on trial basically for trespassing. And again, I think it's ridiculous. I will say this. Our board actually submitted a public statement of solidarity and support, affirming the right to free speech and basically opposing any retaliation against individuals and elected officials. And so, again, we hear you. We are confident that we will do the right thing, and we thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
And that
Commissioner
concludes my
Vice Chair Bodek.
We would like to invite residents, families, and friends to our annual Touch a Truck event taking place on Sunday, May 18th at Oak Ridge Park, located at 136 Oak Ridge Road in Clark. The event will run from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Union County's Touch a Truck event will give visitors the opportunity to explore a wide range of trucks and cars, including those from Union County Departments of Public Safety, Public Works, Parks, and Recreation. Additionally, guests will be able to take a hayride through a portion of the park, and inflatable attractions will be available for children to enjoy. All visitors are welcome to take part in a special disc golf demonstration presented by the Oak Ridge Disc Golf Club. Food trucks will be on site with a variety of food, drinks, and snacks available for purchase by all guests. Admission is free. For more information on Touch a Truck or any event in Union County's park system, please visit www.ucnj.org/parks. I would also like to thank everybody that came out tonight to express your views and your passions so that this board can be aware of them. Thank you.
Council Bergen.
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Chair.
County Manager.
No comments, Chair.
Thank you. So I'm the last one, and I'm going to make it brief. Just like my colleague stated, I thank you for coming out here. Your opinions are heard, and we are listening. Don't doubt that we are not listening. Please remember that. Los estamos escuchando, ¿ok? Oímos todas sus opiniones. Esa es la parte de la democracia en este país, And do not doubt that we're not listening to you. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you. Good night.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, yeah. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.